Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to BioShock Infinite. So now we start the DLC Part 1, Episode 1 of Burial Sea, which is going to take us back to the original Rapture, try to tell us a story, try to wrap up every bit of story we've seen from the three BioShocks and all of their DLCs, and hopefully put a nice end cap on it. Now, arguably, as I said when in the last recording when we did Clash in the Clouds, this season pass is probably one of the worst season passes that's ever been done, because you're getting for a season pass something that's not really anything in Clash of the Clouds, and then they're breaking up the other thing you're getting as two things so they can say they gave you three things. And most season passes these days, for as much as I still don't think they're a good idea, at least they give you four, maybe five things. Very rarely do you only get three, or they'll figure something out, some kind of content. But let's leave that to the side and just begin the story. New game. So, what difficulty level? If you know the basics of first person shooter, this is the best place to start. This hardcore mode is the best for the best, so we can't play 1999 mode. Easy if you're new to first person shooters and want to control and still want to control the action. This is weird because why would you say if you're new to first person shooters and still want to control the action, start here, as if there was a very easy mode where you don't control the action. If you're experienced with first person shooters and enjoy a challenge, start here. No, let's just start at medium. I don't know what I played the main game at, but let's just go with medium. I think I did the main game on medium too, and the game was not really challenging, but frankly giving the enemies better AI or more health or any of that doesn't help a lot. So we're starting with this again.
We're closed.
You don't look the sort who can afford to turn down legitimate work.
1958, December 31st.
What do you want?
How about we start with a light?
Alright, so am I controlling? So things are different, but who's to say we aren't we are or are not the same character? Light the women's cigarette. See, this seems so silly now. Booker DeWitt, private investigator. Like, and see, things are different, definitely. At least he has a bed in this room. Well, do I have a light? Light cigarette? Is he gonna use incinerate?
You gotta name this?
Elizabeth.
And that doesn't look like
What can I do for
the
you?
other
There's a
Elizabeth.
girl who needs to be found. Maybe you've seen her.
This girl's dead.
You know her.
You'll see dozens of her tied down by the docks or the slums in Apollo Square. Orphans.
Sarah.
Fontaine's charity shut. No place.
Sally with
Her
Sarah.
you know.
As I said, girl's dead.
Lost.
Look, I don't know where you get.
Lost isn't dead. Name your rate, I will pay you for this work. But you do this one gratis, wouldn't you?
I don't follow.
Something tells me you will.
So that door just opened to a sunny thing. See what Elizabeth knows about Sally. So we have the ability already. We can't go through here. That Elizabeth had a bird on her necklace and a red ribbon with it, which I don't think were the two options in the main game. It was a cage or a key. So it is a different Elizabeth.
Seems my instincts were correct.
Where's Sally?
This
I don't
is a
know,
different
but I know
picture.
someone who does. Follow me.
That's not Andrew Ryan. Unless they've redone the animation of Andrew Ryan. And we're in Rapture before anything bad has happened. People are just standing around. Sandra Cohen, why an ask? That's music and animals and
What's this girl to you?
boy would it
What
be
I need
nice.
from her is my business. I know where to start looking.
Newspapers.
Something tells me a man with your particular talents could be useful.
Fontaine's thugs rotted former department store. See, I could see this being added and redoing BioShock 1. But I don't think we'd ever see that remake happen. But Infinity Ward has done so much to get away from BioShock. They've mostly gotten rid of.
He's a bigger fish in an awful smaller pond.
Anything you say, pal.
If I was running things, I'd say, why just one city? Why not two, eh? Why not three?
Interesting thought. These missing pictures are new and higher resolution than the original game. So, like, Ken Levine separated himself mostly from the larger team and went with a smaller team, and they changed their name to Ghost Story Games. I suppose they're still an irrational out there, but without the leadership of Ken Levine, I'm not sure what comes out of that group. Maybe they make...
Then Einstein would have remained a patent clerk. It's our responsibility to strive. Here, here.
like...
He looks so sad.
It wouldn't be terrible to have a game that looks like this.
Philosophical transcendence. He's brilliant. If I wanted brilliant, I'd go to bed with a book.
This is also kind of what Prey sort of looked like. Although I don't think Prey is much of a good successor to BioShock. It's tries.
What happened to these children? What are they?
Where have you been? Cabin in Arcadia? Little sisters. Atom factories.
It's grotesque.
So we're getting to see what the Little Sisters were like before the
Hey, keep moving, buddy.
the controversy. And I can't go this way, and you can see there's doors on all of these. Of course, there's no real assurance that this is the same Rapture, since the ending of the main story of BioShock Infinite says there's millions of different versions of these.
Come on. We haven't got all day.
They're trying to send money through the pneumo. Or at least that's what it looks like they're sending. Maybe they're not.
What do they even look like under those suits?
What you mean? They're just some kind of machine?
So we see the big daddies out there working. And I can eat all this stuff and do all these things.
Get on with it. Do you have any idea how valuable my time is?
And I don't remember how to crouch down. Or play an audio log.
Ryan's been good to me. Few are the patrons who truly understand the struggle of the artist. But even I was a little leery when he shuttered Fontaine's business and sent that bald buck to a grave deep in the briny. But when Ryan buried all of Fontaine's pals in that department store, someone had to find a home for all those freshly minted orphans. And if I turned $1 or $2 in the process, you can hardly blame me for doing well by doing good.
And see, I don't remember the year that the original Rapture went to rot, so this might be a Rapture where Fontaine was really defeated and killed, and thus the splicers never really came about, and these certainly look like different newspaper stands than what were in the original game.
He works for Ryan's security firm. I got it firsthand.
Cooks a fella from the inside out. Is the damn thing a weapon or an oven?
Works with mini rays or microwaves? Oh, I can't remember. All I know is it sounds dreadful.
So,
The meat can go ahead and inherit the earth for all I care. I'm fine right here in Rapture.
seems like everybody's moderately happy, and I can just search wherever I want to search. And I've already found a secret thing.
DeWitt. The Hostic sees you, he'll toss you out on your ass again.
So I'm not
Showing your face around here, pal.
allowed in there, apparently.
Funny,
What?
you not knowing about the Little Sisters. How long have you been in Rapture?
Let's just say I don't get out much.
You've got eyes and ears, don't you?
If I wanted to share my life story, Mr. DeWitt, I would write my memoirs. If I learned anything about Rapture, that it was a place where people understood to mind their own business.
Where are we headed?
The man we need to see is in the Garden of the Muses.
How do you know?
My sources are my own, Mr. DeWitt. If you have better information as to the whereabouts of your girl, I suggest you avail yourself of it.
So this seems like this might be a older Elizabeth, but we kind of know it isn't. It kind of can't be. Not the same Elizabeth. Doesn't speak or talk or act like the other
When's the
Elizabeth.
last time you saw Sally?
What?
She was taken from you, wasn't she?
How do you know this?
She was taken, down at Surprise. You were playing the tables and...
She disappeared.
And?
Cop friend of mine, Sullivan, says they found her floating in the docks.
You see the body?
Look.
Did you see the body? This world values children, not childhood. There's a
Wow,
profit
there's
to
a
be made
flare
at men who
on her
make it.
face.
I'm taking you to one of them. Mr. DeWitt, you all right?
I'm fine. Just get these spells sometimes. It'll pass.
So that seemed like maybe a huge that seemed like maybe I just saw a vision of Comstock being drowned in the main game. So who knows, I could be that Comstock. And see some rough animation here. That, you know, when you really get down to it, there's some slight improvement that could be made. This looks pretty under-detailed in comparison to a 2017 game. Something like The Witcher 3, for example,
Gets
would be a
that
good
from his
example.
father. No one from my side of the family was ever so lackadaisical.
Oh, I suppose
And I can't fully just ignore that because it's not like there's enough here as far as gameplay and all that to justify. These phones are different. These are new.
I sell companionship.
It's disgusting.
That's the Bible talking, pal. That's your mother talking. What does Ryan say? Petty morality? You can keep it.
So in this Rapture, prostitution seems to be allowed and legal. And, well, I guess we're gonna start in this music store. And the records, no voxophones, just good old-fashioned records. doesn't seem like there's anything here.
I'm not looking to be an obstacle to my accomplishments. Frank Fontaine. Now there was a street.
There's really too much stuff going on here. Like to sit here and listen to every single conversation is gonna take forever.
Days. Our little girl's been missing for days.
Seems like they've inherited the exact same setup and start that was in the main game story.
Strangest of coincidences. On other side of a window, man in strange hat experimenting on Suchung's own creation. On plasmid. Man name of Fink. Outrage! Theft of intellectual property! But man name of Fink is no fool. Through addition of oxidizing agent, turns plasmid ingestible through stomach lining. Mr. Ryan very impressed with Suchong's initiative. Theft of intellectual property. Two-way street.
So it's kind of a chicken and egg scenario where both of the people in both of the cities, both Rapture and Columbia, caused each other to create the plasmids. So let's see. We can play the slots. That would be nice if I had one.
Best quit while you're ahead.
It would be really funny if it turns out that $11 turned out to be the exact amount I needed for something. I suppose we already know through the story this is how I got my daughter kidnapped Sally. Let's just go the full road, though. I seriously doubt money's gonna play much part in this game. Although I don't know how much game is actually in this game. Episode 1 might just be set up for Episode 2, and Episode 2 might prove itself to be moderately small, too. It'd be disappointing to find out that in total it barely adds 4 hours of gameplay to it. I know that Minerva's Den was pretty short, but the way it was short allowed you to go through the entire progression of all the upgrades in the game very quickly, and it gave a nice abbreviated feel for it. I'm gonna stop after this one. I'm gonna call that a day. Need to know theater. Will there be any audio on this? Taking the taint out of Fontaine.
Are you in the know? You've doubtlessly sampled products from Fontaine Futuristics.
So this does have audio,
But do you know why
unlike the
Ryan
main game.
Industries saved it? Frank Fontaine, business leader and benefactor of mankind? Or was he the best friend the parasite ever had? Were you aware his businesses were a front for a smuggling ring? And were you also fooled by his supposed charity work? At his free clinic, patients became test subjects, and his orphanages were places that children disappeared into and never came out. Once they learned the truth, Rapture's Central Council called for the arrest of Fontaine Futuristics' owner. But, a coward to the end, Fontaine found a hail of bullets preferable to facing justice. The council asked that Ryan Industries assume the burden of stewardship of Fontaine's ill-gotten assets. And Andrew Ryan accepted that burden for the people of Rapture. Now all citizens can enjoy these products, free of criminal taint. Now you know.
So, I suppose it's slightly important to remind the player that what happened in BioShock 1, because I think it's going to play a part. Interesting art. For a society that seemed to love art, they didn't really have that much that wasn't crazy people art.
Where have you been, DeWitt?
See, these are going to different directions, different cities. But I'm not sure I'm gonna have the setup that you had in BioShock 1, which was a major issue. In BioShock 1, you could just refill. You could refill your health with med kits. In BioShock Infinite, you couldn't hold on to the med kits, so you would only immediately pick one up and use it. Why would they put these slot machines right next to each other? Just so you accidentally gamble? It would really suck if there was a achievement for never gambling in the entire game.
In the know?
And then it tricks you into doing
what
it.
Fuel Rapture. But that fuel can be diluted with rumor or flat-out lies. The rumor monger asks, what are these so-called splicing side effects? Well, take a look around you. Do you see anything wrong with your neighbor? The rumor monger asks, why has Tenenbaum withdrawn from the public's eye? Dr. Tenenbaum is a scientific mind unparalleled, even in Rapture. She's no doubt in her lab, toiling away at her next great innovation. I heard she was in cahoots with Fontaine. Merely slander from jealous naysayers. Remember, Rapture competes through innovation, not cheap shots. Bridget Tenenbaum is a woman who represents the best of science and industry. In other words, she's a Rapture gal. Now you know.
Interesting. And there's like no water anywhere, so you're not going to get any water effects.
How is Ryan taking over Fontaine's business any different than, say, eminent domain? It's just the hand of government coming down on the individual.
Fontaine was a criminal.
By whose standards? Ryan's? I prefer when the judge doesn't profit off the penalty.
Fair enough statement. So where are we? She wants me to go that way. Great chain. Another one of these economic theories that get preached like they are proven real. The supply and demand, the great chain, the invisible hand of the market, golden rule. So, this is like a ring. Interesting. Jewelry. There's a lot of new art in this that I think kind of screams like maybe they intended to have BioShock Infinite in this area.
Whatever that barber did to you. I hope he's retained a capable attorney.
So maybe I can find... Like, I'm going all over the place here, looking around, and I feel like maybe I'm seeing the entire thing. Is there a map we can access? Apparently not. So I guess it's not a terrible idea to look at everything before it all gets blown up. And it seems like we're once again
Hello, Booker. Where have you been hiding her?
hearing music that potentially doesn't.
You got an issue with my food pen. You're welcome to put on an apron.
I had all of these visions before coming down here of Utopia. Every man with his hand on the great chain, the wheel of progress turning. Every cliche you can imagine. And what is the first thing that happens when I open up shop? Petty thievery. Now I have to lock all my valuables in the closet. Remember 2076. It's the problem with coming to Utopia, is that it still has the people.
Alright. 2. And how we're entering this is oddly imprecise with the controller. And you could have brute forced it because there's no button to hit OK and check if the number's right. So it was constantly checking to see if the number was right. And I'm getting nothing because there's nothing so far that I can get.
When Ryan take over Fontaine Futuristics, scene of a terrible violence. Splicers burning each other to bits. Lucky ones not killed, sent to department store prison instead. Suchong think he dead man too. But then Ryan comes to Suchong and says, Suchong want to be buried in filthy store, or Suchong want to make a good salary? Work for Ryan. How much salary? Asks Suchong. This Ryan find very funny.
Let's see what this is. The Big Daddy.
Are you in the know? The Big Daddy may look imposing, but he's a gentle giant. Do you know all he does for Rapture? These metal gents are the hands that maintain Rapture, digging the foundation out of the seabed and guiding structural supports into place. Where do these metal mysteries come from? Sorry, chum. That's a Ryan Industries trade secret. Now you know.
Now you know very little. So, well, it would be kind of cool to watch Rapture go from this to an instant nightmare. It's going to be a little hard to have any interesting interaction with that. It would have to just be every single person we see right now turns into a splicer, and the splicers are really, really strong compared to what we've been fighting before.
Herr Schmidt.
And And the Big Daddies, and I would
Mr.
also...
DeWitt,
I would
find
also...
my source inside of that club.
Cohen? What does that lunatic have to do with Sally?
So here's Sandra Cohen. What are these? Projections? Or people? I think the people. Interesting. So my other thought, that's probably the easiest story to tell, would be for us to either tear in a different dimension and see a completely different version of Rapture in the same area, or knock me out or something like that.
Private party. No entry without invitation.
We'll see about that.
Let's knock on the door. Honestly, if you did remake BioShock 1,
Business?
Yes, which business?
DeWitt
this
Investigations.
still wouldn't look
Cohen
that
is not
good.
truck with private detectives. Masks of
If you're
invitation
gonna...
went to artists and craftsmen alone.
I'm with the artist struggle. We're expected.
No mask, no entry.
Stuffed shirt.
These invitation masks he spoke of, they must have gone out to local artisans.
Well, I guess we'll have to persuade someone to loan us one.
The business of Rapture is business. Says it's sponsored by the artist struggle, the Golden Rule, and Rapture Records.
I guess those stores would be as good a place to start as any.
So I guess I could have... it looks like there's a local store that might have received invitations in Cohen's Club. You can choose your current objectives from the objective screen. Press back to exit. So search any one of these. And...
What brought you to Rapture?
A man.
Really? You don't strike me as the romantic type.
Wasn't that kind of man.
Then what?
There's a debt that needs repaying.
I've known my share of Shylocks. You're no Shylock.
Wasn't that kind of debt.
So what's he gonna want?
Invitations to Cohen shows are highly coveted. Nobody's gonna just hand us one.
You think you can figure out a way to distract the store owner while I take a look around?
You just find the mask. Leave the distractions to me.
Welcome, please have a look around.
So what is she gonna do? Like I can't do anything other than speak to the guy. I guess I'm gonna speak to the guy.
Excuse me. Lady has some questions for you.
Yes, of course.
I'm interested in this piece.
Ah, excellent. You've an eye, haven't you, miss? It's a natural sapphire and diamond, 18-karat gold ring, fully hallmarked for Paris, 1887.
Really?
The center Kerberson... Excuse me, sir?
That's a lot of fine talk about a stolen ring.
I beg your pardon.
Right out of her
Cohen sends
coffin in
those masks
Twilight
out in
Field.
some
Did
kind
you
of
think
box.
we wouldn't notice?
The assurances
Must be
of a
somewhere
grave
else.
robber are of no interest. If you hand the ring back, the matter will remain between you and me.
I don't think so. Hit the bricks, you tramp! Or I'll see to it they hit you.
Get your hands off me! Might be best if we were gone when he wakes up. Any luck?
Nothing. Let's find another shop.
So
Where should we look next? Upstairs at the artist struggle, or Rapture Records straight ahead?
let's go Rapture Records, I suppose. And I imagine it will be in the last place you look regardless. It's been about 35 minutes now. Same idea, I guess.
See that dish I walked in with? Will you give her the star treatment, pal? It'll make it worth your while.
Of course, right away.
What is this piece?
It's by Trine, but of course, covered by Mr. Reinhardt.
Oh, it's lovely. lovely?
Oh, gotta find that box.
Actually, something in this face. It's almost primal, isn't it? Part of us lives before thought, before logic, purely sensual. The finest music.
That almost sounds like it is playing music when I'm playing that. There's so many things here, so much new work put into this, and I just don't. I don't think we're gonna.
Nothing. Well, only one place left.
I just don't think we're gonna have enough use.
I must go. Even one more note shall prove my undoing.
Annoying. Like, it's annoying to see so much new art.
And if that proves to be fruitless,
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Underused. Because I don't think we're gonna see a BioShock 4 or any game that is set in a world like Rapture. So they're gonna have to reskin and rethink all of everything you see for the next Infinity game. Like, you very well may see a waterfall like this, but it will probably be completely different skin over it. So it'll, instead of be shiny retro Art Nouveau, it'll be boring old cement and probably. And whatever engine this is using is probably going to just get thrown away for a more common engine. Like, I don't know if this actually uses the Unreal Engine. That would be about the only thing, is if it was using a common engine, any programming or knowledge they learned in using it could be continued to use. But if this is its own custom engine,
Hey, pal,
that will probably go away
help out the little
too.
lady?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and what's funny
Isn't it?
is
Original Sandra
this
Cavalry.
looks more like
He
We
calls it
Happy Few,
miasma.
I'm sorry, but
which is
I know precious little about art.
sort of an independent game that's struggling to be interesting. And now I'm drunk.
Oh, I would like so much to understand.
Totally drunk. I'm gonna not pick up any more alcohol.
You see all that in that little
So yeah, We Happy Few, who is a weird video game in itself, because it's more jumped from trying to be a video game to already trying to be a movie, and before the video game even has been considered a success or finished. There we go. Get the mask.
Do you have
Anything of your own that you could show me?
Well,
You've given me so much to think
It
about.
seems like there's
I feel
probably
trifle swoony.
a decent amount of dialogue if I sat here and just listened to her talk the whole time.
Good. You've located the mask.
Third time's the charm.
All right. It's best we head back to Cohen's.
Can we run a little bit faster? I've searched so
Fine
many
piece of work
things.
back with those shopkeepers. You got a bit of the grifter in you.
For that, you can thank my father.
Oh yeah?
He was a man comfortable in a variety of roles.
That's kind of ironic. In 40 minutes, no real running and gunning.
What kind of field you in?
Field?
Yeah, you know, occupation. Can't imagine what kind of employment would lead you to tag along.
I wish they would take control of the
Suppose you could
camera
say I
and
work
have me look at her.
Debt collection.
Enter the club. Look around some more. Let's enter the club. See, I just don't know how much more geographically there is of this game.
Very well. Mr. Cohen awaits your participation at his performance.
I suspect there might be only 3 or 4 sections, and that was one.
So who is this fellow Cohen? Some sort of underworld figure?
Worse. He's an artist.
An artist who
It's an
kidnaps
art.
children.
Cohen's muse is a bit more diverse. I've seen his type. Gets an idea in his head, end a conversation. Don't matter who gets hurt.
This is a white room, kind of like the awful ending to, like, what was that, The Matrix 3? I Am the Architect, wasn't that the guy's name? And now it seems like we're going to a completely different type of place. And am I in control of this? I thought that was a cutscene.
Dance, dance, move!
There's rabbits, real rabbits, and people in rabbits' masks. And there's people dancing.
Move, that's right, that's right.
I don't know if they're being forced to dance or what. Hands being held up by chains.
Open yourselves to the music, to the spirit of the eternal.
Are they robots? But see, isn't this exactly where it started in the main game?
In front of my muse shall not be mocked. Fitzpatrick, please. Thus, stand here for God's sake. My muse shall not be mocked. Get them out of here. There shall be no failure on my canvas. Oh, there's no room in Rapture anymore.
I can't jump out. There's no way to jump out, so you gotta walk out. And so all these people didn't have any problem with him murdering those people. Those bathtubs just here. Everywhere. I don't know what that deal with that is. So Sandra Cohen hasn't changed too much in this world. Speak to Cohen.
Who are you?
Name's DeWitt.
Is that right?
He looks different.
This one's a real biscuit. Isn't he a biscuit, ladies?
I need to ask a few questions.
Questions? Yes. Yes. It is the work of man to ask. It is the work of the artist to answer.
You've seen this girl, haven't you?
We artists see more than most. You are more than you claim to be, little songbird. Are you not? Watch this one, DeWitt. She'll take you where you don't want to go. But I know the child in that photo is important to you. So many children. Flit, flit, flit away. I know where the girl is. And I will send you to her. In exchange, all I ask is a dance.
What?
I see something in you two. Art strips away artifice. Show me who you are. And I will show you where you need to go.
Son of a bitch.
Mr. DeWitt.
What?
Dance with me.
Come.
She has the thing on her pinky. which makes her one of the
Shudder to
Elizabeths
think
in
what
Columbia.
great price he might care to extract.
Fitzpatrick! Beauty and pain. They can be no more separated than birth and blood.
What do you think Cohen's customers do with the children? Do they?
Sometimes. But those types lack the capital of people like Ryan and Sucho.
That's a blessing.
You saw those little sisters? You so sure? But if Su Chong had Sally, I'd know it.
How?
Because I tied him to a chair and asked him.
So?
For 15 hours.
I don't know what to make of you, Mr. DeWitt.
Listen, we're not gonna keep...
Fitzpatrick! I see suffering in you. I know how to shine a light on your pain. A moth will become a butterfly.
Arrived at Fontaine Station, so now almost 47 minutes into the game will we actually be able to do something.
Mr. DeWitt. Mr. DeWitt. Are you alright?
Is this the same Booker or a
You were
different
dreaming.
one?
You kept saying your daughter's name, Sally.
She's not my daughter.
I thought...
Pain and beauty.
Look how
To an
torn up her
artist, they
clothes are.
parent and child.
Cohen?
I'm sending you to find your young one.
Does he have an AD on his hand? I guess he wouldn't.
No need to thank me. I'm not so sure you'll like what you find.
Because if his daughter was named Anna, then he...
Look.
Fontaine's. Ryan sent the whole thing to the bottom.
But it's a prison now. Why would Cohen have sent Sally there?
I don't know.
Everyone has needs. I merely provide a service for those who have the means to pay. You'll find your little bird in the housewares department.
How many people do you suppose Ryan's got locked up in that place?
Enough. Fontaine had amassed something near an army. Now they're down there, spliced up and wild. Alright, there's a dock up ahead.
Takes a cold son of a bitch to do that to a living person.
What's that?
Burial at sea.
You read your residency contract with Ryan Industries? In perpetuity, we're all buried at sea.
So all the splicers that originally show up. Let's just take a look at what we've got here. A hand cannon to begin with, and two splicer
Too comfortable. Keep your eyes open.
Closed
Seem to
by
be
the
some
order of the
supplies this
council.
way, Mr. DeWitt.
It's Booker.
What?
Just call me Booker.
If it's all the same to you, let's leave it at Mr. DeWitt.
And see, there's something on that flash of that hand. Should I shoot? Nope, that didn't work at all. So, trying to kill crabs. You know, adding crabs to the original BioShock would add an element of gameplay, because then there'd be movement that would trick you into shooting and cause you to run lower on bullets, which is certainly a possible way of adding a little bit more challenge and strategy to the gameplay of the original game. And that's really all I care about as far as BioShock Infinite, is how can this improve upon or continue the first two BioShocks that take place in Rapture. Let's see, what is this one? The Black Dream, that's new. I wonder if all of these are going to be the same. By Sander Cohen. So this is going to be weird. What are we looking at? I didn't expect it to be this weird. I don't know if I want to waste my time watching these. Still going on. And why is it not full screen? Explain that one to me, game makers. Explain it in any way that makes any sense. That was weird. Weirder than I thought it was even going to be. Does this say just a couple of TV shows? The March Hare. Are we really going to have to watch this? Let's just do it. Just struggle through this. Is that how this whole game is going to go? Is that Sandra Cohen is going to torture us by making him watch his awful art? Not knowing who Sally is, I kind of have to wonder if maybe Sally becomes the mother in some weird way of Booker DeWitt, or perhaps his daughter's daughter, so Elizabeth's daughter. Because I think they're going to want to keep it all in the family no matter what. So, and it seems a little unbelievable that Sally would turn out to be the sister of Elizabeth. That's just getting crammed into the story. I suppose Sally might be the mother of Elizabeth, since we really didn't get too much story about her. Just that I think she died. Died in childbirth or something like that. At the very least, I now need to and can use my abilities. Exactly 53 minutes in the gameplay. Let's see. Ooh. I was not expecting that. That did not work the way I was expecting at all. Plasmids before did something different. So it almost seems like maybe there will be 3 sections in Fontaine's warehouse, which the idea of a department store.
Perhaps we'll be able to find something to get us up and over.
The idea of a department store does make some interesting addition. Here we need the hook shot. Because it allows for you to push more on that pure objectivism and capitalism idea that Rapture is built around. But certainly...
Skyhook? Skyhook? You mean the air grabber? Kids use them to ride around up on the pneumo lines.
Air grabber? Huh. Constants and variables.
Constants and what?
Never mind.
So they're pretty much admitting that she's the Elizabeth from, or at least one Elizabeth from Columbia. So no real mystery about her at all. And can we just, in the next 5 minutes, actually...
Goddamn grabber stuck.
Mr. DeWitt! Someone's coming!
And there's
All right, I got the grabber unjammed.
Keep your eye on a block.
So...
Mr. DeWitt, look.
Look at what? Hold the look.
Housewares. That's where Cohen said we'd find Sally. The store ran trams between the 3 buildings. We'll need to avail ourselves of that.
Assuming it still works.
Optimism, Mr. DeWitt. It helps in situations like this.
So the department store and to the tram. Let's just look around, grab some more money. I kind of jumped in money very quickly. And take some health. I need some health, some food. And let's push the button. Stand above the crowd. Fontaine cigarettes.
When did you come to Rapture?
Oh, it was, geez, I guess around 51? No, 48?
That's a rather large gap.
Time. Life I had before. Sort of becomes a blur. 49. 49 for sure. Damn.
You look a mess, Mr. DeWitt.
Just keep your eyes open for splicers. They can do us a whole lot worse.
Here, little birdies. Eat it up. Well, it's good for you, you know. I've never heard of birds that didn't like seeds. What's the matter with you? Do you think it's poison?
Walking while crouching to be quieter. Sneak up behind enemies and hit them.
Food on my plate touch. I can't eat either.
And so, I was walking up to this, and there's nobody here. What was I supposed to do here?
Why?
Haven't found anything yet.
And see, she's trying to throw things to me. So I think I was supposed to sneak up on them.
Look.
Well, there's the tram.
That splicer had no problem freezing a path for himself before.
I'm sure he'll be happy to do the same for us.
I have no doubt you'll prove persuasive.
So I've got a hand cannon gun, but only 3 shots. And he wants me to go this way.
An ice rink.
Be good at places any to look for our new friend.
Says it's on the top floor.
So we go up.
So they want me to use more of Elizabeth's ability to hairpin lock. Probably. Yep. And it feels like it would be a mistake to do that immediately without checking out what's over here. Even if it turns out that we are supposed to. And see, I pick up that Eve.
How many have you had?
I just drank one. Gosh, my alcohol tolerance is terrible. Terribly, terribly low. And what am I gonna do with these? Possession also works. So this is now how we're gonna change our vigors. So possession for less? Is that worth doing? I guess I'll take it. And there's only one upgrade for everything anyways. So that tells us this game's pretty short. Well, it's been an hour. It's been exactly 1 hour and 47 minutes of it was that incredibly slow setup, just like the main game. And now we're playing with the new interface from BioShock Infinite in Rapture, with the new story from BioShock Infinite in Rapture. This still feels way too much like BioShock Infinite for me. I'm hoping that there's more of a story and more of a twist here, but I wouldn't be surprised if our only major twist is right at the end of episode 1 and then episode 2 resolves it. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.